Hello, and welcome to Rethinking Our History, where we seek to shed a light on events that have been forgotten and covered up, and to make us all question how much do we really know about our history? I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian, and we are here to reveal all the sordid details of history that have been swept under the rug. Get ready to get angry, be curious, and maybe have a laugh or two as we rethink our history.
Hello, friends.
Hey guys.
Thanks for joining us for another lesson, number 48. It is November, and we are in Native American Heritage Month. And as usual, we're going to highlight some indigenous stuff.
That camera's got a little bit of a delay.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking at my face, so that's fine. I don't care. This week we're going to be looking at an event that rivals that of any other of its nature. Many of us know the story of Wounded Knee, the Tulsa Race Massacre, and many other events of violence done against people of color at the hands of white people. But one name I had never heard of before was Bear Creek.
Bear Creek?
Bear River. Excuse me.
Bear
Not
River.
sure why it says Bear Creek. It's Bear River. You ever heard of the Bear River Massacre?
No.
Nope. Like Leopold's brutal reign in Congo, the massacre at Bear River is not one that is well known outside of the Shoshone community. It is believed to be the deadliest massacre of Native people on U.S. soil, with estimates of over 500 people killed. The Shoshone of the Northwest had been living near Bear River as long as anyone knows. They spent their summers fishing in the river they called Boa Ogoi and hunting, while during the winter they sheltered in the ravines. It would be in the early 1800s, after the establishment of the California and Oregon Trail, that the community first came into contact with the European fur trappers who dubbed the area Cache Valley.
Dysentery.
Too bad more of them didn't die of dysentery. Hate to tell you, this is showing the difference in our generation a little bit. I never played Oregon Trail. So I still think it's funny as hell. I saw a lady at the playground the other day. She had an Oregon Trail bag and it said, "Be patient. I'm from the 1900s." And I was like, I need it.
They made a redone version now.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't want the redone version. I want like the classic big ass like monitor.
They make that one too.
Yeah, I need that one. It's like terrible.
It was in like green though. The original one was in green.
Yeah.
Because it was like computers didn't have
color.
They were just like
I remember that
green LED.
There's a Whoopi Goldberg movie called Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Mm-hmm.
And she like is talking to somebody through a computer, and in that it's the old like desktops, and it's all just black screen and like green typing. Yeah, very interesting. That's how our computers used to look, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Fonts were not a thing. All right. Like most of these encounters, relations were tense but friendly at first, but over time, as more settlers moved into the area and word of gold in them their heels spread, white people began to take native land, leading to more tension that would erupt into violence. Interestingly, we see a familiar name come up during this time. If you are on our Patreon, you know the name Brigham Young, and if you don't, he was leader of the LDS, or Mormon Church, in the late 1800s. Well, Young and his church moved into the area and made claims to some of the land. At first, Young encouraged his congregation to be friendly and supportive of the Shoshone, but as more people moved into the area, the food resources dwindled and tensions rose even higher. The settlers saw the Shoshone as beggars, while Shoshone grew more and more upset as their land was taken out from under them. This was evident even to settlers. In 1859, Jacob Forney, the superintendent of Indian affairs for the territory of Utah, wrote, quote, "The Indians have become impoverished by the introduction of a white population," end quote. He said what he said, motherfuckers. That's why I hate that damn white savior complex shit that people be trying to throw on people. Nah. In 1862, the superintendent James Duane Doty spent a few days in the valley investigating the living conditions of the natives and reported, quote, "The Indians have been in great numbers. The Indians have been in great numbers in a starving and destitute condition, no provisions having been made for them either as to clothing or provisions by my predecessors. The Indians' condition was such with the prospect that they will rob mail stations to sustain life," end quote. So he's like, yeah, they're fucking robbing people because they're fucking hungry.
Yeah.
You would too, motherfucker. Jinx poke, you owe me a Coke. In. There were many events that caused tensions to rise between the two communities. One such event was the killing of a native boy recorded as Pugweenie. When a settler found his horse missing one day, he found the closest Shoshone person and accused them of theft. Although Robert Thornley, one of the first residents of the area, testified in his defense, the boy was found guilty and hanged. This young man was the son of the local chief, which led to a retaliatory attack in which two settler boys were killed in the forest while gathering firewood. So, like, yeah, they killed people, but because y'all did it first. And you can't be mad when you do something to somebody and then they retaliate in the same way.
Right.
You don't get to control how people react to your shitty behavior. Fun fact. In 1859, a group of 19 settlers was traveling on the Oregon Trail when they were attacked at night by who they assumed were Shoshone. A few were able to escape and were met days later by a troop of soldiers traveling along the trail. When Lieutenant Livingston investigated the scene, they found some of the bodies had been mutilated. And I'm not going to tell you how because it was real fucked up.
Yeah.
Then on September 9th of 1860, another group of settlers was traveling on the OT. I'm going to start calling it the OT. When they were set upon and killed, the attackers, who were believed to have been Shoshone, ran off the livestock and allegedly took 4 of the Van Ornum children captive. Word got around that one of the children had been spotted being held captive by Shoshone warriors, so a troop of soldiers was sent out to retrieve. Excuse me. I felt it coming and it like bumbled up my words.
Yeah.
A troop of soldiers was sent out to retrieve the child and got into a gunfight with a group of warriors led by Chief Bear Hunter. After a couple hours, the chief surrendered and he and his men were taken into custody and questioned about the child. The chief told them they had sent the boy away, but they were kept in prison until they could bring him back. A child was brought to the soldiers' camp and taken by a relative of the Van Ornums, although the natives claimed he was the brother to one of their chiefs. Chief Bear Hunter confronted the settlers of the valley, saying they should have backed him against the military. As compensation, they were given 2 cows and some flour. For a child.
For a kid?
For a child.
What the fuck?
There's a couple cows. Here's some flour. Okay, thanks. Can we get our baby back?
Right.
On December 4th, 1862, more troops were sent to Cache Valley to retrieve stolen cattle. The Shoshone fled and cut the ferry ropes at the river crossing, but the troops were able to cross anyways. Although not related to the theft, 4 warriors were taken captive, and the soldiers threatened to kill them if the cattle was not returned by noon the next day. The Shoshone moved their community further up the valley, and the warriors were executed by firing squads, and their bodies were dumped into the river. As a result of that killing, because, this is what happens, folks.
Yeah.
As a result of this killing, A.H. Conover was attacked hauling freight between two mining camps. Two of the men he was traveling with were murdered, and when he arrived at Salt Lake City, told of the vengeance of those who attacked him. Quote, he said the Shoshone intended to kill every white man they should meet on the north side of the Bear River till they should be fully avenged, end quote. And you know what?
Fair enough.
Good for them. Somebody asked me, I got into an argument with this one dude at this one store that I go to, and he was all like, yeah, I know a bunch of natives that said they'd kill every white person if they had the chance. And I'm like, do you blame them?
No.
Do you blame them? I have a white husband. I have a white child. I have a white family. I'd sacrifice us all. Like, shit happens. It's the price you pay when your ancestors did shitty things, folks. Eventually, that blood comes back for payment. Balance needs to be had.
For sure.
Then the final event that would trigger the massacre happened when 8 miners were attacked on the Montana Trail. The group of travelers had gotten turned around and lost by the river when 3 of them decided to swim across to Richmond to get help. While they were gone, the other 5 were attacked by the Shoshone. John Henry Smith and a few of the horses were killed in the attack. The survivors arrived at Salt Lake City and testified about their encounter before a chief justice. There was little warning of the incoming massacre as the soldiers made their way to the winter encampment. I feel like I cut a whole section out. So there's a dude named Colonel Connor. They were like, hey, we need you to go, I'm paraphrasing here, take care of the Indian problem. He said, sure, give me some volunteers from California. We're going to go out in Utah in the winter. Okay, this is like January, folks.
Jeez.
In Utah.
Not me.
Nothing good happens in January in Utah.
I'd be like, y'all have fun with that. I'm staying here by the fire.
Yeah. So what they did was they split up the company. They had cavalry go one way, infantry go the other. They would meet up occasionally as they were traveling, but they were trying to keep it hush-hush secret so people wouldn't know that they were coming.
Right.
I cut out that whole part. Sorry about that, guys. There was little warning of the incoming massacre as the soldiers made their way to the winter encampment. It is said that one elder named Tindup had a dream about the attack and tried to warn the people, with only a few heeding his warning. In reality, there were 3 Shoshone natives that were in Franklin getting grain when they saw the troops coming into town. They fled back to their camp, but the chief was not worried, believed that they were going to have a peaceful discussion.
Sure.
They were not.
Oh, man.
On January 29th, 1863.
Year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord, 1863.
Started.
Gotta get it out while you can.
963.
Jesus. 8675309. Anyways.
Wrong.
All right. January 29th, 1863, Chief Sagwitch left his home and stepped out onto the sub-zero temperatures. As he surveyed the surrounding area, he noticed a strange fog on a bluff near present-day Preston, Idaho. As he watched, the fog grew closer to the camp, and then he realized it was no fog he saw, but the breath of the soldiers as they charged down towards the camp.
Potatoes.
Realizing what was happening, the chief shouted for his people to arm themselves. At first, they were able to hold off the frontal attack, but Connor regrouped the soldiers and he split them up and had them flank the encampment, and they shot at any Shoshone warrior that crossed their path. Some people attempted to flee by jumping into the river, which, according to one elder, quote, was soon brimming with dead bodies and blood-red ice, end quote. It is hard to know, for one, the true number of people murdered on that day, or whether this is the bloodiest battle between the natives and the U.S. military. Not like they, keep records of that.
Right.
Conservative estimates range between 250 and 400 Shoshone killed, with one pioneer claiming to have counted as many as 493 bodies.
It must have been Gimli.
Gimli.
Him and Legolas were counting how many orcs they killed.
Gotcha. Not all of the people were killed, though. Roughly 160 women and children were captured and left with a small amount of wheat to sustain them through the rest of the season. Not all of the warriors had been killed either. Chief Sagwitch was able to hide in a river near a hot spring until night fell. His son and a few other band members also survived and attempted to care for those who were wounded and still alive. Sadly, this massacre happened during the Civil War and did not get the media attention it deserved, considering what was happening in the East.
Right.
The area would not be declared a National Historic Landmark until 1990, and the Shoshone Nation purchased the land in 2008, and there is a simple stone monument there today that commemorates the massacre. This massacre opened the land up to new settlements now that the quote-unquote Indian problem had been dealt with. But that did leave them with a Mormon problem.
Oh, no.
Which over time is where many of the remaining Shoshone went, ironically.
Oh, no. Out of the fire and into the frying pan.
Oh, my God. It's interesting. But, I mean, if you think about it, in reality, to their face, the Mormons were probably the only ones who really were kind to them.
Right.
You know? Like, behind their back, they were like, dear God, these fucking losers. And it's like, really? Who's taking whose land? But okay.
Right.
So, yeah. While the Mormons as a whole were thankful to have the native population dealt with, many did feel bad for what the Shoshone had been put through. Chief Sagwitch and many of those left after the massacre joined the LDS, and the chief was even ordained as an elder. So he went all the fuck in.
Yeah.
Those who joined the church would go on to help establish Washakie, Utah, named after one of their chiefs, while those who did not moved on to reservation. Colonel Connor and his men were giving a hero's welcome when they returned home from their campaign. Connor was promoted to brigadier general and would spend the rest of the Civil War fighting against the native people, most notably leading the Powder River expedition against the Sioux and Cheyenne. Guess I'm gonna have to do a fucking story on this motherfucker.
Right.
Little is known about his life before he came to the States. He actually came from Kerry, Ireland. In August of 2023, a 90-minute radio documentary titled Glory Hunter, Kerry's Indian Killer was released by Radio Kerry in County Kerry, Ireland. Quote, this documentary sets out a detailed account of the massacre and Connor's role in the disposition and killing of First Nation Americans in modern-day Utah, Idaho, and Colorado. It features interviews with historians and authors, as well as representatives of the Shoshone Nation, end quote. I have it linked. I have the Spotify link for the show in the source notes below. Like I said, I think I'm going to have to do a deep dive on this man's life, and I will probably do it over on Patreon. So go on down to the little link right down there in the show notes. Right there. Yep, right down. Yep, right there. Click that one. Go over to Patreon. It's only $5 a month. Cup of coffee. Like, you support Starbucks, the Israeli fuckers. You can support us. $5 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And then you can learn more about this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's out on that.
And
so,
several other shitty men.
How you feeling over there, babe?
All right.
Are you mad?
Yeah, it's kind of shitty.
Kind of shitty?
Yeah.
Kind of shitty.
I mean, it's just like all the other Native American slaughter tales, you know? Like,
this is American history.
Yeah.
This is white American history.
What we did back then, you know?
People like to say that, like, slavery and the Trail of Tears and Jim Crow laws. They like to say it's Black history or it's Native American history. No, that's white history.
Right.
What I say our because I have white ancestors too who did some shitty shit. What our ancestors did to these people is white history. How these people survived.
It's genocide.
How these people survived, how these people have thrived, and the fact that these people are still here, that's their history.
Yeah.
Like,
and
so.
I'm like really glad now that like I just recently learned that Cherokee purchased their land back, which is amazing. I mean, not
that's cool.
All of it, like, but they were allowed to purchase land from the American government to put, under their nation of the Cherokee peoples. Which is awesome.
It's like, awesome, but it's also like.
But they shouldn't have to do that. Should be theirs anyway.
It's their fucking land.
They should have fucking gave it to them instead of sold it to them. But I still think it's kind of cool though that they were, allowed to have their own nation.
Yeah, and there's a lot of nations that are buying their land back, which
is amazing.
It's fucking insane to me that they have to buy their land back. I actually saw. I think it was on Instagram.
I'd kind of rather live under their government than our fucking government right now.
Whole day of the week. Every day of the week. And that's what started that conversation I had with the kid at the vape store about them wanting to kill white people. He's like, well, if they had ran the government, they'd want to kill all the white people. And it's like, no, motherfucker, because we're not y'all.
Yeah.
We're not y'all. Kendrick Lamar said it the best. They're not like us.
Well, they definitely don't want us now.
Because we don't want revenge. We just want to be left the fuck alone.
I don't know. I'm going to have to, like, email some people about that. Be like, can we come live with you guys?
Like,
I know you don't want me to because, like, it's fucking horrible what we did.
I don't know if you can buy land in Cherokee or not. Maybe. I don't know. Be something to look into. Because,
They got that good dispensary now.
The only fucking cannabis dispensary in the
North
state
Carolina.
of North Carolina. Oh my god.
It's amazing.
It's cool. It's expensive.
Y'all ever come to Cherokee, check out the dispensary.
Gorgeous.
Awesome.
I'm hoping that they go down on their prices as they get like more and more popular.
They're
open for a few
crazy
years.
Popular right now.
Yeah, they are, but they've only been open for 2 years.
Yeah.
A year. They opened last year.
They're still figuring some stuff out.
Like they opened 4th of July last year.
Yeah.
They've been open for a little over a year. Like, give them some time. Hopefully their prices will come down. They do have like $8 pre-rolls.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, hello.
Pretty good.
You don't have to worry about it being cut with fentanyl. You don't have to worry about it being cut with like stupid shit.
Ugh.
It's just cannabis.
Yeah.
They have edibles. They have medicine. Flour. They have drinks.
That good medicine.
They have topicals. I need to get the topical for my back.
For real, I need some for my psoriasis.
Oh my god.
I like these little bitty psoriasis patches.
Mm-hmm. All right, friends. Well, thanks for joining us for another lesson. We hope you guys will take the time to sit with the knowledge of events like this. Look at how Native people are being treated today and say enough is enough.
Yeah.
From the United States to the jungles of the Congo to the streets of Gaza, indigenous people deserve our respect and our support.
It definitely rethink the Oregon Trail game now. That's not what happened. They didn't die of dysentery. They died from fighting with the Indians, man.
I mean, a lot of people did fucking die of dysentery too because
right.
White people are gross.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Didn't know how to wash their hands. Go back and listen to our Rethinking Our History on washing your hands.
Yeah. Go back and listen to the Ignal Semmelweis. He was like, hey guys, maybe wash your hands after you play with the dead body before you go stick your hands in a woman's vagina. And they were like, the fuck are you talking about? And African women over in like fucking 1100s nothing are over here fucking doing C-sections and people ain't dying.
Yeah.
Without the technology that we have today.
Right.
So, fuck the patriarchy. All right, guys. We hope you guys have a good week, and we will see you guys next week.
Be kind to each other.
Love you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.